Hi everybody, I'm Grahtles.
I'm Sunken Ship.
I'm Joy, and this is
Ladies in the City.
Welcome to our take on City Skylines multiplayer.
Ladies in the City will premiere every Sunday at 12:30 Eastern.
We'd like your feedback, so please come hang out with us. And don't forget to
like, comment, and subscribe.
Hi everyone, I'm Grahtles, and welcome to a new episode of Ladies in the City. I can't believe we've been going this long already. I think it's, episode 13? God, it's grown so much. We've already had our first guest, Few Candy, and next week we're going to have our second guest, Raid Kitty. And she is so good at different detailing and so many unique ideas. I just can't wait to see what she's going to do in our city. But for me, it's my week. So I guess we're going to go see what I'm going to do today. So let's jump in and see what the ladies did, and we'll go from there. So I know Sunken did a start to the forestry industry, and we're going to go in and take a look at that. So I think today maybe we'll put a little bit more expansion on here. I think we leveled up. So yeah, I think it'll be fun to expand this and do some more. Next, I'm just seeing where the in and outs are. I mean, nothing's getting backed up. It looks pretty good. But I think we're going to expand on it. Next, let's go see what Joy did. I know Joy did a lot of public transportation, but she also put in, I believe, this trumpet down in here and also extended our college, which is right over in this area. Let's go take a closer look at that. Yeah, she put some dorms and oh my god, it looks so nice. I'm so happy to have this extra little piece going on in here. This is good. I hope it helps with the college leveling up because we just do not have enough students for that. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in and see what we're going to do. So I'm just going to jump in and see. Yeah, we still don't have enough students. So I think we'll hold off on leveling up this a little bit until another episode. So when I start my episodes, I really like to check over the fire and the police and all that, the medical. And I did notice we are low on some fire. And I decided to go ahead and just plop these in wherever it was red and we needed to kind of give a little boost. Another thing I noticed when I first turned on the game was that in the Nature Reserve Park, we had two places that burnt down. And we don't have a helicopter depot with any helicopter priority. And you can't get in here with the fire engines because they don't go on the paths. So what I did was I put in some of these lookout fire towers. And then we go ahead and put in a helicopter fire depot. So not only is the Nature Reserve Park vulnerable to fires, but so is the college. Anything that has paths going along there that have buildings on it, the fire department does not go down there. So we definitely need to put some helicopter priority. And so I thought this space was good because it's right in between the two. And I go ahead, draw a district on the college, and then I go ahead and put in on policies, helicopter priority. So this way, if there's a fire, this will be their priority. So we do the same with the Nature Reserve Park, and then we go ahead and move on to our next bit that we're going to do on Ladies in the City. Next, I wanted to help level up the forest industry, but I did notice that these trees were dead, and then I realized that there was polluting industry right next to them, and so I dezoned that because they will not grow if pollution is there. They'll kill all the trees. So I take all this polluting industry out, and eventually the trees will recover. Now that we've done that, I go ahead and just take a look at where we can expand a little bit, and a couple more crops would definitely do well. They're not crops, they're fields of trees. And yeah, so I go ahead and I look at also what we have as far as processing goes. So I add some of the processing plants that we don't have, and I also add some more fields of trees. So now it's time to head into some building. I had to delete that little curve. I hope Joy doesn't mind, but I needed to make this straight because I wanted to make this a little bit more gridded because I'm putting in some high density. And high density's traffic always works a little bit better when you do some grids. So I'm going to start laying out the roads. So now that we got roads, water, and a district, I start filling in the zoning. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought there for a second. And I did this very, intentional. I wanted to put walking paths in between a lot of the buildings. This is kind of like a city living, and, paths are always good. And I start zoning them in with the paths in between. They're just like alleyways. That's how I figured them. When you're in a more suburban setting, you don't get a lot of paths between houses, but in a very city-oriented, you get alleyways, and it just makes more sense. And it helps with the traffic as well. So here I'm just going ahead, I'm adding all the services, the medical, the schools, the parks, and I did notice that some of the parks were lacking in certain spots, so I just made sure I added to it just to bring up that land value. Now I start adding more zoning down in here, and I'm also doing it not only with just the walking paths, but I'm making different size buildings, so this way we get a variety of buildings that come in, and they don't all look the same. So some of these I just, like in the residential part, God, again, I'm losing my train of thought. I try to be a little bit more intentional of doing different sizes. In some of them, I left them as blocks, but in others, I definitely did 3x3s, 2x2s, and 4x4s just to get a variety. Now that the population has grown in, I'm just taking a look at where we could use a couple of extra plazas or parks just to raise the land value a little bit more, because it's always a good thing to have more parks than less. So we put all the services we need pretty much down in this area, except for the high school. Now I wanted to go big with this high school. I wanted to use the European one, and I wanted to add the fields we have. So we have a soccer field, a football field, baseball field. I didn't use quite all of them, but I did use quite a bit of them. I think I used the soccer, the football, and a basketball court. So I just go ahead and I just spent a lot more attention on this side. But yeah, I just wanted this to be a nicer, bigger area. And then I think maybe we'll put something down on the end by this beachy area. I don't know, maybe just some kind of walking paths and stuff. We'll take a look at that after we're done with the high school. And now for our highlight creator of the week, Larry Skylines. I know some of you are thinking, who the hell is Larry? Well, Larry Skylines is a content creator on YouTube that has the latest and greatest City Skylines news. It's informative and hysterical. If you've never seen his channel, give it a look. You'll be amazed. Larry Skylines, link in the description. Next, I just start running the walking paths or alleys down each of the roads that I made and the spaces that I left. And this way, the walkability in the city high density will be so much easier to get through. Next, I start adding some of the jacaranda trees throughout the middle, and it just fills in the space really nice and it looks really pretty. Now that we have everything fenced off and all the walking paths in, I just go ahead and fill in the zoning around the high school. Next, I go ahead and just fill in the back of the high school with some trees, and it helps with the noise and anything else that's going to go on, and it gives it a little bit more privacy in the back by our residents there too. So now that we have this nice new area, I thought adding a little bit of metro down in here would work really well. We're going to have a very congested area and they're going to want to get places. So I thought putting 2 metro stations in. Now trying to figure out where I wanted to put them, that was another story. But I eventually fit them in where I wanted them and just connected it. So I'll show you here. I added one down over on this side. And then I added one down in here. So I thought this would be pretty good because it spread it out between the 2 areas. And then we carry on with the rail just coming into the 2 right here and then down on the bottom. Now, instead of expanding the yellow line, what I did was I made my own line just from here to there and back, and they can transfer at that middle station. So I hope that'll work. I think it will. I know we were getting a lot of people riding the metro now. So then I remembered I put no death care. So thank God no death waves started happening before I added them. So I added 2, one on each side of town. So this way it would cover the most area. Now I knew there was a bus line coming down this area, but it wasn't smack down in the middle. So I decided to move this kind of just right down the middle street. So this way most people can take advantage of it. So guys, I wasn't quite done, and I know we're only 15 minutes in. It's a time lapse. I did time lapse most of the video. I time lapsed, if not all of it. Anyway, I wasn't quite done. And I want to kind of put a boardwalk on the beach area with some amusement park rides and just, you know, a couple of games and stuff, just to have some kind of leisurely area that they can walk across on. So over here, I just kind of leveled out the island just so I can get a nice clear kind of path going across there, a bridge. And that's just really nice, smooth, and level. And it's definitely high enough for now, unless we add some boats later on. And then on the other side, I just want to kind of squeeze myself in so I know what my boundaries are. Then here, I just take that boardwalk, and I know I say boardwalk funny, guys, I'm sorry. And I take it across here, but I lift it up, and then I use move it to move it down, so it doesn't change the texture and the width. Because if you use these, I'm not going to say it, if you use these to the ground level, you get the regular, like, concrete path. and I like the texture of the boards that are on them. So I just move it and I move it down to the level of the grass. And yeah, it works really well this way. If you ever want to keep the look, use the Move It mod to just move it down. And it does attach all the equipment or, park stuff as needed. So here I just painted the area just for this small little amusement area. And then we'll just go ahead and add all the assets and detail. So here you can see I don't like that space that was underneath there like that. It really makes a big dip down. So I decided to just smooth this out. So I had to pull it up a little bit and then smooth it just to give it a better edge because it really looked horrible this way. So I brought it up to that level and then I just smoothed it down, and just so it doesn't have that big gap and that big plunge down into the sand, and it makes the outside a little bit more usable, which is what I wanted because I took some of the park assets from the city park. I took the piers and I used them in here as well. Here you can see that grass is coming between the boards on the boardwalk. It's not really coming between the boards it's coming through. But anyway, I thought it would look halfway decent, just looks like grass growing, like tall grass growing. And when I actually took a walk on the boardwalk with a first-person camera, it did not look good at all. So I decided to put some of this gravel kind of underneath. I didn't mind if it stuck out a little bit. I thought maybe, it's like washed up sand or something like that. No big deal. If it stuck out just a little bit, not a problem. So, but it makes it so much nicer when you take a walk. So we will do a first person camera walk down the boardwalk, and yeah, you'll see. See it? Looks nice. No more grass. So here's where I added the piers from the city park, just to add a little bit of fishing down here or just hang out. I don't know, it just looked nice. We could probably add a couple more little assets if we wanted to, but right now I was pretty satisfied with that. So yeah, we're getting close to the end of the episode, and we'll do an overview. So here we are, another week down. I can't believe it's already episode 13. Absolutely crazy how fast the time goes. I can remember sitting back planning it with the girls, and now here we are. So crazy. So don't forget, next week is Raid Kitty, and I can't wait to see what she's going to do. It's going to be so exciting. And don't forget to join us every Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. I really appreciate it. The girls really appreciate it. All the support we've been getting. Every week it gets bigger and bigger and grows, and with the city it grows. It's so amazing, all your support. So thank you very, very much. And yeah, this is such an exciting time. I mean, just coming together and working together is absolutely amazing. We are really, really good friends now, and it's so lovely. And building together and compromising and sharing, it's so joyful. So, without further ado, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I hope to see you next week. Don't forget, Raid Kitty. Thanks. Bye.